C'est ça.
Morning, everybody. Morning. Yeah, can we help?
Je vais juste la mettre à côté. Il y a ma chaise. Tu vas pouvoir avoir tes
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to see you all here again. I'm very happy that probably what you heard yesterday was some kind of useful for you. And like I said at the beginning, to me the biggest challenge is try to manage this conference, is try to adapt and try to make clear the message so you guys can take some with you and bring your team and your coaching and help you improve and help your teams. Okay? And I'm very happy to see you, most of you here again. Today, the challenge for me would be to try to explain our program, our project, what we do and how we do it. Yesterday, you have a big idea of what we're trying to do, how we're trying to do it. And yesterday, then we covered you about that. And the second part, I will talk only about shooting. And I come back to technical aspects, and I just want to talk about shooting and everything we can think of about shooting. Okay, I'll give you an idea of how I train, how I try to make the players improve on their shooting abilities, and like I yesterday said, anytime we want to stop anything, tell me please, we stop and we answer the question. Because at the end of the day, what I'm going to do today, the first part, is it's difficult. It's very different because the structure of our school system, our society is a little bit different here and there. And I understand some of this is impossible to apply here just because of the structure. But my hope is even understanding that is that you really can get here little ideas here and there that can take with you, can be interesting for you for the Clinique environment. Some of them as directors, as coaches, as participants, whatever, that you still could give something to try to implement something of what you heard. And this morning I was having a conversation with Alejandro about the system, and it's really a big thing. And before I start with that, I just want to say a little thing about children, about coaching and teaching children, and how every time I go to a country like in Germany, for instance, it's totally different than in Spain. In Spain, basketball, and in Spain, basketball is huge in mini basket. It's huge. And this is one of the reasons why the Spanish players are better as average than the most of the players in Europe. In general. One of the reasons is because I think the coaches are better technically and average, and the country we have a stronger basketball coalition than other countries in Europe, and that gave us probably more knowledge, more time thinking about basketball, more watching games, more thinking, more trying to find ways to do things. But big impact is the mid basket. And for I have a daughter 7 and 9 years old, and they both play a little bit of basketball. I swear it's not because I told them to, okay? But they do. And in Spain, once you score 5, 6, you can play. But you don't play this basketball, you play the basketball like this. And it makes a whole difference. If you remember that yesterday I told you the first thing is our goal is not get the players to improve here like young. Our goal for me is make them have fun, enjoy sports, enjoy being around people, enjoy being in the team, and make them come back the next day, the next week, the next season, and be willing to do it. And if a kid, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 years old, is shooting in this basket, it's going to take a lot he goes home after one practice and he made one shot in the whole practice, or even none, the basketball game, in every practice you're going to make 50 shots. That makes a whole difference. Doing it right or wrong, let's talk about the enjoyment of the activity for them. If they play soccer, they play football, or whatever, imagine they never score. At the end of the day, when we're playing any sport, we want to score. I mean, we're coaches, we want them to learn a million other things. But the kids want to score. It's legit. And if we have an activity where they can never score, it's very hard for them to score. It's really hard enough to be really keen on it. And we cannot blame them because we have super good coaches that make them have incredible fun. We cannot blame them for going to play other sports or other activities where they can actually score, they can actually have fun or more fun. That's why I think it's so important to have a classes. Plus, everything has to do with shooting. It's very important. And in the country that they have mini basket, and I just talking about maybe one and all, I have been in other countries that they do have mini basket as well. You can see very easily 9, 10-year-old kids shooting with the perfect shooting techniques in their youngsters. We all know how easy it is for younger kids to imitate something and really do it really well. With a nice technique, shooting free throw, shooting from this distance with the basket at like 245. Wow, I'm getting the right thing. And when they grow, it's not that difficult in that way. But if I'm little and I'm shooting like this because the basket is so high and I'm learning since I was a kid to shoot wrong, when I'm 12, 13, 14 years old, somebody has to guide me into the right way of thinking or shooting. That's a lot of time. So that's very important. That's why I wanted to emphasize this little point. And if you can do anything in your school, in your club, to lower down the goals for younger children, so they practice in a young goal, do it. And Germany, Spain is so common, have this just the reach they can lower down and up. And in some schools they don't, some have. But in the schools they don't, they found in some schools like I saw, they just have a backward with 2 hooks, and you hold it, and they drink. You put the 2 hooks there, you get the drink, and you get the basket at the side. This use your imagination and offer the young kids the possibility to shoot at lower goals so they can score. They can go back home and tell mom and dad, I made 10 baskets today. They're like their face is a little different. Their enjoyment and happiness is another one. It's another one. So just wanted to emphasize that little point, okay? We start now with a little bit of what we tried with earlier. Our philosophy, even we are competitive, purely team. This year we were last, we're not that competitive, we were trying to compete every time. Our idea is trying to be competitive with the highest number of players possible from our program. And in Europe, professional level, that is very hard. That is very hard. You know, coaches want to win at any level, and find coaches that understand the balance between playing young players that they're developing and they're more likely to make certain mistakes than veterans that they are less likely to make mistakes. It's not that easy. You gotta find the right person to match your philosophy. For us, understanding that is very important because our goal is to make the players better. And in Allah, they created the job position of player development coach coordinator 7 years ago. It did not exist before. It was just assistant coaches doing it like many other places. This assistant coach is trying to develop players. But having a person like me, whoever, but having a person that is just focused on thinking of the improvement of the players makes a whole difference. Make a whole difference. And in your school, in your organization, you can get a little bit of that. I recommend you to do it. Because I may need 3 to think of that without the hassle of having to win games. I've been coaching for 35 years, and before these 7 years, I was head coach and assistant coach in several countries. First division, second divisions, lower level basketball, higher, doesn't matter. But when you're in the bench of the game, trying to win and trying to be competitive, it's not that easy to maintain that view of improvement. And then, the blessing for me was to be able to have this job or league where I could really express all I had with no restrictions in terms of player development. And I want our team to win, our men's professional team, our women's professional team, our under 19, our under 16. I really want to win. But to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. To me, the more important thing than win is developing players in certain direction. But if we don't have a person test for that, it's not that easy. And if you can have that, I encourage you to get a person to be thinking 24 hours of that. Because that helps a lot the players. That helps a lot. Our method, as we said yesterday, we're gonna identify some of these ideas on the thing we were working and how to just. Well, everything we practice is based on what we call intensive training. And that intensive training does not have to do with physical intensity. Like I said yesterday, some practices are very hard, some practices are not. And depends on the load, depends on the moment of the year, depends on everything. I would say there's a lot more practices where the physical intensity is not that important. And the concentration and the understanding and the learning, it is more important. This was funny. The coaches that they are a little bit more aware of basketball might know this person. The name is Aito Garcia Renes. He's a legend. He's a coach in Europe. Now I think 78 or 79, something like that. He was our coach in Alabama my first 4 years. He was 73. 72, 73, 74. His coach in Spain, and he was raised when the biggest legends in Spain in the last 40 years, 50 years. He was the head coach of the Spanish national team in the Beijing Olympics, where, if you remember that game, the final of Spain lost against the United States team. And in Spain, it was Gasol and all these wonderful players, and it was almost that game against the Americans with all the NBA superstars. And in the last 2 minutes of the game, the United States pulled out 6, 8, 10 point difference, and they won with a Kobe Bryant shot, and that was when the game was on the line. Because that was the level of those Spanish players were that. And the most of those players were raised by this coach when they were young. But not only them, but also a few other NBA players that they were in Barcelona, they were in Badalona, when he was younger, they were in Sevilla, when he was in the okay? But this person, again, is a legend, he's the biggest legend in Spanish coaching history. I was super lucky to be with him, working in Berlin, because he showed that how important was the improvement and understanding of the game. We played in a professional EuroLeague Euro Cup team. We played a conceptual concept. Conceptual. Understanding. 2 or 3 entries and understanding. And you have to teach the players to understand the spaces and angles, the decisions. Not set plays, go there, screen there, go there. We had some plays, of course, but that was not the way to play. Actually, he had a sentence that to me was super, super good, which he was telling the guy. The set plays are for when we cannot play basketball. That, to me, that was really. Yeah. If you can play basketball, you're in a position to play the moving path, you play on the ball. Why stop and you set up plays. They're public. You tell the players to play comfortable. You tell them to, but they don't play basketball. They execute something in many cases. But it's also possible to teach players to understand the game with set plays. Okay? Use them wisely to teach the concepts. But this person was in the opposite. Because for him, the most important part was the teaching. More than the teaching, the learning of the players. And that's why these teams in the second part of the season forever, they were killing in the second part of the year because it took months for them to understand the ideas and concepts that they signed. And after 1 or 2 or 3 years in the team, he was building the team, they were like home. For us, we were 4 years in Berlin. The first 3 years, we didn't win anything. We got to all the finals possible in the competition we played. All the finals. We lost all of them. But after the 3 years, we won 5 of the next 6 finals. And we had built the team. They got some mechanisms of playing together, understanding, maintaining the goal of the team for a little while, and I made everything easier. But the basic thing was understanding. Understanding what we're trying to do. And our individual practices that are very much related to that. Basic training from the mental point of view. Like I told you yesterday, at the end of the practices, the player tells you the mind is not the part of the body is working most, and because you know what I do. Concentration, gain, understanding, reading, and reaction and decision making. And everything has to be done with certain speed, effort, and involvement. And everybody counts. Everybody counts. Like I said, the bottom of it, we run away from mechanical repetitions and we teach the players to react. Mechanical repetitions in practice that only make us be good at repeating one thing. And the improvement in other areas is very limited. We've got to find ways to get that improvement in all the areas. Okay? Summary of that is just making understanding features and intensity, right reaction at the right time. Basic foundation. How do we decide what we do? How we decide? It is one of the important things. And my job is divided into two parts. One is the professional teams, and the other one is the teams. We do different. The beauty of my important parts of my work is that my job does not rely on the head coach of the first professional team. My job relies on the sport director. So I work for the club, not for the men's team or not for the women's team in particular, for the club, for the players. That means that when I work together with our sport director in order to sign players, he tells me, okay, I look at this guy, and it's one guy in Australia, at his university, or in college, or in GD, or the NBA. So I watch videos, I prepare a report, do some scouting, and I upload certain things, and tell them, okay, this guy, I think this would be good for us, so this. And because that fits what we want, okay? And he does a lot of research, and he's a master. Maybe tomorrow, that is the number one in Europe, in my opinion, on this, building teams, building an organization, signing players, scouting, and understanding who is good and who is not good, who can be good, who can be good. So we work together with that, we sign a player, and we often have signed a player in one position because he was good at that position or she was good at that position, but we want that player to develop in 2 or 3 or 4 years in such a way that he was able to play other positions in 2 or 3 or 4 years. And if you're aware of what team professional sports is in Spain, how that is in Europe, sorry, it's super, because everybody has very much short-term memory and short-term goals. And sign a player as a center and develop that player in through 2 or 3 years as a 4 without letting that player lose his strength and still be good at the center is a big challenge. And it's not a person they dedicated to that is a lot more difficult. Because the head coach and the assistant coaches, they want to win. And when I do my job on that, and I know we want to develop this player as a forward, a guy that never shot a field in his career, then I know it's going to take 2 or 3 years. But to straight the court for him and get out there and be able to play out here, you have to do a lot of work behind the scenes with them. And sometimes even I did it when the team was not there and when the coach was not there. Because sometimes they can tell me, hey, like when you're doing this, you're never going to shoot a 3 game, and we need it to be very good at the post, work at the post. And they're right. But my job is not only thinking in the short term, my job is thinking on the long term. And if there's something I want to happen in 2 or 3 years, I cannot wait 2 years to do it. We have to start doing it step by step, slowly. But then the player understands that it's developing, going this way. But it still has to be good at what he's doing now. Because you know he won't play. You know he won't play well. You know he needs to. But he still has to be good at that. And that double path, parallel path of keep improving, getting better at what he does well, and keep acquiring new strengths and new weapons is a really demanding challenge for me as a coach. And this is really easy.
Sorry, I got a question.
Yeah.
What do you say about kids that we don't have for 2 or 3 years? We only have them for a season. We only have them for 2 seasons. Let's say they're in Sec 1, 12, 13, 14-year-olds. We don't have them for that long. How would you approach that?
If you only have them for 2 years.
Let's say I only have them for 2 years.
For 2 years. Okay. The restrictions of time can only capture the set number of season he is going to be with you. It comes from the number of practices you have during the week, the number of practices that player is going to have during the off-season, on the preseason, and that time without the goals is what is going to dictate your goals, in my opinion. In the same way, when I train professional players in the summer, they come to train with me and they tell me, I tell them, well, how long do you have? And they go, I tell them, what are you going to work on? They go, I want to work on this. Good. How much time you have? I have like 2 weeks. Tell them it's possible. I'm not a magician. Just we have to choose, because otherwise we will not achieve anything. And in the long term, it's the same. You have a person 3 years, and you know how many times you're going to practice. You're going to practice every day for 2 years, then you can do a lot of things. But you can't because of different reasons. Then you have to choose, and you have to set up your goals in a certain way to match the time you have available and make decisions. And one of the hardest things for me to do as a development coach is to set up the goals and make decisions on the priorities. What is important now? What is this step? What is this? And this is a very, very important thing I tell the players all the time. Okay, this is my starting point, and this line. And I want to get to the end of the side line, the other side, this right line there, and that's my goal there. Okay, perfect. It's very important to have a goal. No, I'm going to do that. But it's not as important as my short-term goal, this first step. What is this first step? Because if this first step is not taking me in that direction, it's taking me here, and I don't realize I'm going to end up being there. And that still might be good. Still might be a nice place. But it's not what I had in mind at the beginning. It's not my dream goal. And the process of understanding that short-term goal within a long-term plan and reevaluating what we're doing is super, super important. But very important to know how much time you have available in order to set up goals that make sense and establish your priorities, the short-term priorities and short-term skills that you want to work. I can tell you how to do it, okay? But more or less, okay? How we set up the goals with the professional rosters, I agree with the sports director more, and then we talk to the head coaches. I have a very good relationship with both, and we work together as much as possible. Okay? But I'm not part of their coaching staff, but I am a part of their coaching staff. Okay? I don't sit on the bench, and if they come tell me, no, I don't practice with this guy, I say, well, that's not your coach. That's very important. If I think we have to practice this with this player, and the sport director, we think we have to practice this, then we'll have to find a way to do it. Because the coaches are often focused on the short-term idea, which is legit. And I'm probably doing the same. I'm probably doing the same if I would need the shoes. But my point is, I have to be an independent way of thinking that thinks of the improvement of the player as a more important thing than the short-term performance. So with both teams, professional people do that. But with the youth program, from under 16s, I don't get involved in the under 14s. Our elite part, I'll show you later. Go from under 14 up. This is one of the points I was telling you before. And the way it is built, our program is from kindergarten to primary school, secondary school, and the elite part of the club. And the elite part of the club goes from under 14, like categories in the Eurobasket under 14, under 16, and under 19. Okay? In all those ages, the elite part we have like the highest prospect potential better players in one group, but we still have we have many teams, so all the kids that want to play, they still can play. And we try to do that in their school as much as possible. We have agreements in Berlin. Berlin is 4.5 million city, and we have agreement with more than 50 kindergartens and more than 100 schools. So we have our coaches going there. And Alice organization with more than 80 professional coaches. And it's probably the biggest coaching club in Europe. Not the most successful in talent, but it's probably more successful on the social presence and community involvement for the amount of things you have. So we're talking about a basketball organization with more than 180 employees. And, like all half of them are coaches, that their job is that, with different variations, but their job is leading the class. So when I did that part, working with those coaches from under 14, under 16, and under 19, my job is trying to coordinate the job they do and try to help them to be better coaches. How we set up the goals for these kids is different than how we do it with the others. With the older ones, with the professionals. We have divided four major parts. In practice, individual training, sports psychology, conditioning practice. Every time, everything we try to make it as individualized as possible in practice. No, but the rest try to make it as individualized as possible and try to give to the kids and their families like a whole lot of attention on different areas so they can find the environment where they can actually be professional players. Our goal is to make the players professional if they want. If they want. It might not be professional with us, but might be professional in another club, which is also makes it super happy. Okay? When we set up the development plan for kids, we don't get involved under 14, lower. And how to do it, coaches are not outside. Under 16 and up, we get set a player development plan for them. We put together their own players' ideas, their own players' ideas, and the environment ideas. Because sometimes they have coaches that they tried when they were 1 or 2 years younger. They have family, they have parents, they are coaches, they have some of them when they're 15, 16, they already have agents. And it's important understanding that in order to put all the information together. You listen to everybody, you make your own decision, but it's important. And this current coach that is going to coach this year will have an opinion, and me and the director of the youth program. We all in a role. We will talk, all of us, the coach of the boys and girls under 16, boys and girls under 19, 2017, our second team we played in Germany third division, semi-pro team. We sit down together in a room, where like 12 or 14 people, and we will talk about every player. Because in most of the cases, like they have coaching the year before, or they know the kids or whatever. So we sit together and we talk about long-term view. We normally have like a long-term view for that player. What is the best version of that player? What we think is going to be the best version of that player in 10 years' time. It's going to be a shooting guard. Offensive shooting guard with ability to go to the basket. We try to get a brief description of what we think that the best version of the player is going to be. We have a clone player that is actually playing now that gives an idea of the type of player we think this kid should be when he becomes an adult. To identify a little bit the idea. Not how good is going to be, we got mirror players could be Doncic, could be, I don't know, anybody. But that doesn't mean we think he's going to be as good as this is the type of player he is. Okay? Let's do this right. And this kid we want to be like a two-pointer, then we gotta teach him fast break decision making, and we gotta teach him passing of the dribble, or no, inside passing, and we want to teach him the third priority could be spot shooting. And then we go from more general to more specific. So long-term vision, long-term goals, and then short-term goals, priorities, and skills. And for any of those, we want fast break, we want the player to improve his fast break passing. Then we work on how we get open for the other pass, the decision of whether to pass or dribble after the ball, how to sprint into the other side, come down to the 3.9, make decisions and wait for the others to go to spaces, his decision making, all this stuff. And we try to go from very general to very particular. And one that first step I told you before is maybe with this player is practice the out pass catch with a blind catch. Just that. The next 2 or 3 months we'll focus on him to do that. And when we believe he's achieved that, then we kind of tick that priority, that skill, and we move on to the next one. And some normally we have some active skills that we are working on that already, and sometimes we put inactive skills that we think it could be interesting for me to have, but we're going to get a little bit more time until we get into that. Okay? We have in the past. We have a software that we use as a cloud from top to bottom, internal organization of administration, medical, and basketball and everything. This is where we used to have. Now we're in the process of changing that software. I can show you now. But we have, every player has its space. You have your space, all the practices you have had, all the injuries you have had, all the everything. On your goals, the process of your goals when you have tried this and then you have achieved that goal and then you move on to the next one, all that trajectory was there. Okay? And that gives us a very good view of the trajectory there through the years. Okay? And in that place we activated the skills, the goals, all the things we were working on. So we go from here to there. And we normally reevaluate that 2-3 times a year. So with that coaches group meet several times during the year. Now they are meeting every 2 weeks, and we have coaches development meetings that we use them also. I do some clinics and some stuff on specific topics, technical topics, basketball, and how we practice, how we do things, etc. But we have meetings during the year several times to check if the improvement we want in those places at the beginning of the year is going the way we want. And if we made a mistake, that we set up something and we're not where we want it to be, then we talk about it and we try to change the goals. And there's nothing wrong with is changing goals and changing money. Sometimes when we tell the players make a mistake, because we learn that, we say as a coach, we make a mistake, and this player, but suddenly this player, this 6 months, grew 5 centimeters, but the last over the summer, grew 10 centimeters at like good level. That happens sometimes. And in Germany, the kids are huge. And tell about it compared to Spain, we already had. In Germany, in Finland, Northern Europe, kids are huge. And sometimes you gotta change the rules just because they develop in different ways. You not expect. Not only technically, but physically. Change your mind. But you have to have those meetings to reevaluate and talk about the kids. And 12 people spending 5 minutes talking about every kid makes a whole difference. Because it makes us all be on the same page. Not only how we want to teach, but what do we want to teach. And we all know it's a lot easier to achieve. Because one of the cornerstones of my player development program in the morning practicing before they go to school is that we want the coaches, different coaches to coach the players. We don't want the players to be coached by the same person. And especially we don't want their team coach to coach. And you cannot get that into play if all those coaches are not on the same page. They train one player, tomorrow you, unless you are all on the same page, it's exhausting. But you have to know the goals of that player, and you have to know what that person did this week or last week with her. And you have to have a place where you write down the practices, and it was fantastic what we had, because with that we could see the whole year how many minutes that person was working on 2-on-2 and driving in. How many times, how many minutes during the whole season a player has worked on 5-on-2, how many minutes he's worked on shooting with decision making. Okay, I think this is a very, very good thing to check and to know, especially to make it work in the same. This is important in skills, super important, but it's more important in shooting. And I'm sure you're gonna think about it, your environment, and you will recognize people with that happens this. How many times we have a group of players in our school, in our club, whatever, and they're shooting, and we all as coaches, we see something. When you see a person shooting, we say, our friend is going to help us really take a few shots. You have to do it. No, later. And when he's going to be shooting, if I ask 5 different people, you might say 5 different ones. We just study legit. It's not a problem. The problem might those 5 people are in the same team, the same club. And in different moments during the season, all 5 are going to coach that player. You're going to try to tell that player his shooting mechanics. If all those 5 coaches tell them what they think is going to be good for the player, it's going to be terrible for that player. It's going to be messed up. Who is going to believe? The one he thinks is more right, or the one who is more closer to his thought? But it doesn't matter. That's bad. So what we do in these meetings is we agree on certain things. And in shooting mechanics is more my call, and especially when we're trying to decide what to do and what to say to the player. And when we agree in the meeting to do something in a certain way, and to tell the player a certain correction, because the player might have 3 different things to correct in the shooting, but we just want to tell them, hey, we just want to talk about that, that's it. And nobody says anything. Don't correct that player in any other thing, even if he's shooting with the foot. And even if you are right, don't say anything to the player. Shut up. Come to the coaching meeting and bring up the issues. I think we should change this because of this. And then we talk about it, and we all say, okay, you're right. And they all know that is the next thing to correct that. So, and then we all help the player on that thing. And he will not hesitate. He will not be wondering who is right. Whatever it is, we all have to say the same. And that common Super important. Everybody the same things. That's why we have this. Our program is every kid on the under 16 and under 19, 3 months, they have 14 practices a week and 3 individual practices before they go to school. That can be 2 or 3 depending on their school calendar. And normally 2 games on the weekends. 2 games on the weekend. Because we try to give the players the possibility to play 2 different leagues, 2 different categories. So, if a player in our cadet team, well, so the cadet team will have a 15-year-old kid that is very good for his age. He will play those games and he will practice with the under 19 and play with the under 19. The coach considers that he deserves it. So he has 2 games, and he has the opportunity to practice sometimes with his age, sometimes with older. And you have to couple with that, with every person. There is not a specific way of doing it. You have to see how the kid reacts and how is that going. But it's important in the development of the kid that sometimes he feels he's a good one and he's better than the others, and sometimes he feels he's the worst one. He has experience all. And from every 10, 15 years, there is one Luka Doncic with 14, 15 years old. He was playing with 4 or 5 years old, and he was playing around the first team with 16 years old. Or Ricky Rubio, which was playing professional with 14 and a half years old. And that happens under like million cases. So we cannot say and establish any rule based on something that happens so rare. Okay? We have to think about like the thing that happens. So the player has experienced both. They have to learn to deal with being the one that has more responsibility, with the one that plays less, and they have to grow and develop their mindset and their mentality through all these possible situations. That's why it's important. And in practices, we have kids attend different schools. In the clubs in Europe, they go to different places near Berlin, it's a huge city, and they go to school near their home, whatever. Many of our kids, we have what we call the sport school. And in school, that depends on the Olympic committee, and they get all the best children, like kids, 14, 15, 16, 20-year-old of all different sports, with swimmers, track and field, tennis player, basketball players, football players. They get the kid at the federations of those sports think they are better. They get together in school, they go to a class there, they practice there. Our kids practice with that, they practice there, they practice with that. And we have that possibility with that. But there's many other kids, they all go for the schools. And we have to try to accommodate what they practice. And we have a calendar schedule that the kid that goes to one school, it starts 8 in the morning. So we have to find a way to practice in one of our gyms that we have in Berlin, or their school gym, which in some cases is possible. So he's ready to get to school at 8. Sometimes we start practicing at 6:30, at 7, 7:15, depending on every day is different, depending on the times, depending on the personal calendar of the team. And we have a person in the club that is responsible for that between the club and the schools. In case the coordinators, in case they go skip school 2 or 3 days because we go with national team, or they go with our professional team, or they have any problem or anytime. So there's a person that helps on linking those. Our individual practices are usually Wednesday and Thursdays for you. We don't allow anybody to practice Mondays. There's no team practices and there's no individual practices on Monday. With the load I have explained to you, there is a very high possibility, especially for the prospects, that players that we have scholarships and we have more possibility to be professionals, and they practice a lot and they play a lot in the weekends. Those 2 games and the local practice during the week, we believe is very important for them. Take 1 day a week to rest, to get their school week together, to be with friends, to do whatever, and just relax. And we think it's very important to do that on a consistent basis. And some of the kids still on Mondays, they want to go and shoot. It's fine. It's not like kill them if they don't go and shoot. But there's not a lot of like team or individual practice set up for them. They know they can rest. And it's very clear. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, do the practices. Like I said, any coach can coach them. We organize that in a certain way. And our practices in the morning follow a very similar structure. Like I said a little bit yesterday about normally we have 60 minutes practices. Well, we have this first part, 10-15 minutes of body balance, coordination, feet, hands, work, and general concept, but also try to apply the specific position. And the main part of practice, we go practice 25-30 minutes based on the long-term plan and the short steps we chose for those things. Small priorities to take care of those. And that central part of the session is that we want to work and with our methodology and our ideas, and we use that central part of the session for that. And the last part of practice, 10-15 minutes, about shooting. Okay, we will see yesterday, we saw yesterday when I was a little later, shooting could be three main things. Three main things. It could be mechanics, could be challenges, could be decision making. Okay, we will skip that part and we will talk a little bit later. But this is the structure of the session. We have changed that through the years. It's not always been like that. We try to check different things, how they work, and even during the season, we sometimes modify that to our given outline. And that does not have to be like those meetings like that. For instance, this year we worked a lot more in one-on-one. So we had a lot more that central part, a lot more one-on-one finishing, more one-on-one creating, more creating, and then like that was how we were talking yesterday. But again, that changed. Another part for us important is the internal question we have to pose is that what would work with the kid? Their strengths or the weaknesses? I mean, I'm sure many times you have thought about it. And at least my tendency, always as a coach was, I'm going to try to help the players as I can do it. And so if you cannot make the left hand layup, just try to help. If you cannot make the left hand pass, if you cannot play the post, then teach that player or help the player learn on those things he cannot do well. And as went on, I realized how wrong I was. And how much I have evolved. And in my opinion, what I was doing was limiting daily progress. Because when for a player to be professional, especially being environment I am with a professional club, that our goal is to make the player better, to be professionals. At professional level, most of the players that are good, they're super good at one. And they can make their living, they can really be professionals, just being good at one thing, and they might be terrible at other things. So, we're going to find a balance between both. And we made the decision to work on both, the strengths and weaknesses. How? In the first part of the season, focus on the weaknesses, and in the second part of the season, focus on the strengths. The first part of the season, focus on that typical example of the left hand dribbling, left hand passing. And on the second part of the season, without really telling the players too much about it, but encouraging them to be good with what they do well, and be unstoppable doing what they do well. And the sense of that too, because in the last part of the season normally is when to win. And our goal for the youth teams is never to win. We want them to be a byproduct of doing things the right way, but sometimes, many times, you don't win, and it's entirely fine. Actually, today, this morning, and it's early morning in Germany, not we lost the German championship final from the under 16. We lost by 2 points in the, I think we win the basketball, we missed it. And that team, and the 16 team we had, unbelievably good. We cannot be any happier and any prouder of how they play, how they have improved during the year, and they lost. Not a big deal for the kids who were sad, the coaches were sad, because everybody wants to feel that winning thing, right? But after 2 or 3 days, they will realize how much they have grown this year. This team actually in the last years is improved more. And speaking, they don't have the reward, the short-term reward for it, but that's it. It's not the goal for us. The goal is to improve, and hopefully that can make you win. But that goal too is there with the professional team. That's why the first like me focus on improvement. Because we want to feel that improvement is not only important, but it's necessary to win. And you can have any team at any level. If your team, your players are not improving since the beginning of the season to the end, you tell them you will not win. Just simply one. Okay? So, any questions about any of that? How we structure the week? How we start the session? Yes? Okay? Yes. Balance, footwork, and coordination. It's a little fun the screen there. Balance, footwork, coordination. All the we did yesterday for the feet, for the kid to learn to do that. It's just a little bit of proof of that. Balance, footwork, and coordination. Yes?
So this is the general technique from day to day. Are you gonna keep the same drills every week on certain days? Or are you gonna have some things?
No. You guys have, yes, this is the question. Just if we keep the same drills during all the practices during your week, we change that. And we try, it's gonna change. You cannot, you can use the same drills some days, it's fine, but you cannot do the whole system the same drills. And I encourage our coaches to make efforts, to invent your own drills. And this is one of the basic foundations of my work, is the coaches have to understand that the process of doing the drill is not, oh, I'm setting up a practice plan, I'm going to do this drill, this drill. Because I like the drills. It's fun, I like the drills. And I just put it like that. No, the process is not that. The process is, what do I want to achieve? Well, what do I want the players to learn? We're going to work on these ideas, we want to learn. Okay, the work on this, what drills I have? Oh, let's make a new one. And then make up a new drill, create a structure, create an environment where the players are forced to execute what you want them to do. On that way, they will learn to apply, they will interiorize the skill that you want to apply. And the process is like that. You start with the end, what you want them to learn, then create an environment where they have to actually apply the skill at the right time in the right place. Okay? That should be the process. Other question here? Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of strengths and weaknesses, I feel that under 12-year-olds should be 50-50, I'd say, 50% strength and weakness. But as they're growing, what would be the optimal ratio? Like, I feel like 17 and up, is it like 70-30, meaning 70% focusing on strengths, 30% maybe on weaknesses? Because you said often during the season, so it would be, well,
Yeah.
proper ratio. That's the hard part for me.
Yeah, it is never is that decision, never is that decision. My goal thing is to do program that is a professional part.
Exactly.
At the youth level, and I think it's, and I asked this question like this in Germany, because no, but German are, compared to Spanish, German are super disciplined and organized. No, I would like to, okay? And they keep asking questions all the time about what is the numbers of this, what is the ratio, what is the proportion of this, what is the, and sometimes it's not that important. my advice to this is think of every person and in every moment, think of every kid. And some kids need, in certain moments, one proportion, and some kids need in certain moments another proportion. For instance, you have a 14-year-old kid that we all know how difficult it is to have relationship with a person when they are 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. That those teenagers, it's they go through a roller coaster emotion. So it's not that. And certain moments might be super important to just focus on the strength to get themselves up there. Even if that doesn't really make sense in terms of other things. But just because it's good to be super important, put up there, just to focus. And doesn't necessarily have to be heard or spoken in front of others. Just with that person, and just to encourage that person and to get that load of confidence on themselves. And some kids that they are arrogant and cocky on their behavior because they are the good of their school, the good of their team, and everybody may have to go back too. So like when you're sometimes you get, it's difficult to deal with a 17-year-old kid in the club like our club when since he's 12, everybody around him is telling him how good he is and how he's going to be a professional player. And when you go from 12 to 17, everybody's telling you how you are. When you're 17, you believe you're good. And then you're a joke compared to professional player, compared to what you could be, compared to what you need to be. But they don't know. If you hear the same message constantly for years, they start living. And those kids, they have a need for working with this to get them down to earth, and get them to get their feet on the ground. Hey, you're not that good. You're not that good. Alright? Like a little secret I have this is when I get a professional player to play like European player or with an NBA player to train with me first time, and I perceive a little of that, not bad behavior, a little of that. What this feels like yesterday with them, any player will hurt anyway. Really, they really have trouble handling the ball, decision making, dribble the ball with his foot, with other foot, and it's super easy to make players look not good. And suddenly we're talking about a 25, 27-year-old professional player that is very good, finding himself and doing something like and this, and they go like, okay, focus. And that helps. One of the very first player I coached individually in the summer is a professional German national team player. When I started training with him, he was almost retired. He was 34. But I decided to keep improving until the last day he was playing. So he called me, and then we go and we practice. And I mean, he was like one of those old school players that was very solid on the basics, but very bad at reacting and quick, doing something he has not trained for 15 years. Some people have that ability, some players have the ability to improvise and they're like super quick on that, some people not. And he was not like that. So after the first session, he was really, like I was saying, destroyed. And after we finished the plan for the weeks and everything, and he was, getting to confidence and everything, I told him, what was the whole thing? What you like? And he said, the part that I like, that's why I wanted to do it, and he came the year after, is because since the beginning, you got me out of my comfort zone. You made me feel bad about myself, and you made me feel how much still I can improve on. Not everybody like that. Some people you make me feel like that, and you see them again. And especially some professional players, they don't like to be posed in front of other people. Some players don't care. But we were on our own that day. But some players, when I work individually with our professional roster, sometimes I have to be careful with the type of things I do, because even with the others, some players don't want to look bad for whatever reason. But that's the way it is. I'm not going to change that, and I'm not going to fight with that. If it doesn't feel comfortable with that, we will do environment, so it's not a problem. But that's also in our practice here, sometimes coaches watching that they're not in the club, so they're from the club. So they feel uncomfortable when they go to go on their feet. A guy that's averaging 13 points a game in Europe, and they will be able to throw the ball out of the day, whatever, that makes them feel a little uncomfortable. Which I understand. So it's not always valid for everybody, but you have to find a way, and my answer is a little much. And what I'm saying is, there's no proportion, there's not a solid thing that always like that. You have to study the person, you have to individualize, and find the right moment for each. Any other questions regarding this? Okay. Then, methodology for practice sessions we were doing. And from, let's start with the other one, I think it's easier. A little bit, just a general idea. Okay, you saw a little bit yesterday how to do, but this is just to summarize the process. When I first start working with players, you cannot do the most complicated, you gotta go step by step and get some kind of progression on the concept of the idea, but also on how to do it, the methodology. So, general 1 or 2 with signals, so they can react left or right. And that 1 to 0 sometimes is a good example is, for instance, I'm doing the one drill, we just did the finishing drill I told you we were going to do for when you already pick up the ball, you don't have the possibility to make another dribble on the last one rule I told you yesterday. You already picked up the ball, and I'm going to give you 3 different options to finish. So what I do with the players is we teach them one solution of every type for a moment. It's the only moment with 1 to 0. We do it with some signals, with our reaction, teach the options, and then put the option of this. For instance, on this edge, I'm making the last one like it, and I pick up the ball for whatever reason. So I have different options to do my end like the finish. One, the defender does not jump before me, so my side, and I'm already in trouble, but still can take a shot. So dribble the ball, 1, 2, keep the ball away, and get a running. I'm going to miss 3 shots on purpose, okay? That's getting me to realize I don't like to pick up my shots. Second option is, on that first dribble, on that last dribble, he jumps in front really quick. So I can change direction. Again, pick up the ball already. And take 2 steps to the other side. 1, 2, and go left, and right. So the defender jumps in front right. And the third option is that I'm going like this. The defender is so, but it's not in front. So I keep going, but the defender jumps in front on that second step. So I do the Euro. Okay? I change direction on the second step, not on the first. Okay? Straight line, change direction on the first step, change direction on the second step. So I will be doing it like a minute each, so they get the technique of that. And then I will be doing it in front. And on that first dribble, I will be helping them with one of the 3 readings, so the player has to adapt and has to play with it. That's one of the only moments where I will go just 1 0 for a little bit. Okay? Clear? See the picture? And that can be applied that way, switching can be applied that way. 1 0, 1 coach defending, 1 real with coach being the team. Let's say we have a player here doing it. If you have 2 coaches, I mean, we're very fortunate to have several coaches that help each other on doing the training. But if not, we have to teach a player and we will practice with 2 or 3 players and they help each other. Okay? So, let's say I have a player here doing it with a coach that does this part, and I am here as a teammate of the offensive player. So he has to do this the same, doesn't change, but also keeping an eye on me. Because whenever I do this, he has to be with the ball at any time. sometimes in baseline, sometimes on the same side of the penetration. Next step is one-on-one with a teammate and coach helping. If not me, then it's another player. And I am triangle, and whatever I want, I overhelp. And that's the path routine. Go from more drill to more real, building to more reality. And help player to understand the process. Next, one-on-one real with teammate and defender. So it's not me now, it's another of them. And the player helps not help, and depending on how much they still execute well what you want them, that's how much competitive you can make it. Very important, don't misuse the competitiveness of the drill. If you get competitive early and they start doing wrong the first thing, technically speaking, then it's going to be a mess. So be conservative on the speed of the progression. No rush. Already the kids are already young enough to want things to them. They have to do this more. Patient. Then go to real. Then go to real. You can be the coach in other position. And then show the hand. Then coach another position. Go do one defender. Then you overhead. And then you overhelp on the same side, so they have to check the defensive rotation. So you start complicating the things. But don't forget, when you build something like that, don't stop doing this right. Because at the end of the day, when we build skill, the goal is to apply in the game. And you cannot imagine how many years I was doing this over. How bad. On not transferring properly the work, the individual work into the games. And I thought I was winning. No, I was terrible. I've been thinking a lot on all those intermediate steps to go from learning the skill to transfer to the reality of the game. And from 1-0 to 5-5, it's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. And if you jump too quick, if you jump too much, you might lose it. You might not achieve it ever. Like I have done really. So, and I want to ring the bell of somebody now. When our coaches in our program complain about how I have only 6 players in practice, and how the 8 players, you can do 5-5. And it's like, great! It's a great opportunity for you to develop these parts in the team practice. Once you understand that having 6, 8, 9 players gives you the chance to build something into the 5-5, that's fantastic. Because you can do all these intermediate steps that you might probably not do it if you have the whole roster. So every time you have a little small number of players, use it to build the thing that you want the player to do in the 5-5, which is a huge opportunity. Okay? Make sense? Okay, also. I come back to the previous picture. Start with stage 1, go from here to there, from less complicated to more complicated, summarizing. The first stage of my methodology that training I do with players, third basic method, I really listen a little bit to the guys learn the signals, learn the philosophy, and start getting the feel of the practice like that, because players around there are used to it. Decision making, when teammate defender the ball, you choose. Me and the player. Sometimes it can be the teammate, sometimes it can be the defender. But just complication is limited to all this. Second part, 2 people, okay, 2 players, same skill or complementary skills. There's 2 differences. Correct each other, teaching details. Decision making, work on 2-on-0, possible defender of the ball, and the passing options. do my real practice. I should not call it individual, I should call it skills practices. And then sometimes they're individual and many times they're not. Actually, I only work with one person only in the very beginning. After, to me, it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time when you're emphasizing one technical aspect and you just need the full attention of that person with you. And then it's fine. But if not, you need more people. And there's two options to do it. I can have two guards work on the same skill, or I can have one guard and one big. One guard, one shooter, one big. Two players that I can use. We can work on both in a complementary way. Very typical example, very good example on pick and roll. You can work with one big and one guard. Each one of them can work on their own things, and they all benefit from working with each other. Okay? Two passing options, because one of them will give the ball, the other one would be the teammate, and me is another option. So now, in the building process of the communication of the drill, imagine the drill we had yesterday with the kid, with the players here. There was just one no movement is simple. But then you get another person, the person is moving, more complicated. And now you get two passing options. Him, his teammate, and me. So now it's a word that has capability growing because it's got two positive and passive options. Sometimes on the same side, and then sometimes in the totally opposite side. Then sometimes it's a defender, sometimes it's a team. Sometimes I go in the same drill, in the same action. Sometimes I am the defender, and sometimes I am the team. Would we have you and two coaches to help so I can show a drill, please? Okay, I want you guys, okay, let's say, I can come back, and you don't start with so go there, you go there. You go there. Okay. The drill is as simple as this. How many times we work on a driving kick? Of a distance span, here we work on the driving kick, spacing, understanding moving of the ball, finding space, so that we work on all this space. With two players and 50. So now the drill we're going to do is very simple. You have to imagine the first person who won has to imagine that you have a defender. So either you need this on your right or your left. You choose. The person with the ball is stay closer to make it easier. Let's go this. Okay. So if you pin on your left, you move away. If you pin on your right, you come up. Okay. Like that. This is the beginning. So we start working on a little bit of this. Then, at the beginning, we're going to do one or two dribbles, and you pass will give off the dribbles. You don't know because you don't have to start always here. You can be more closer or separated as much. It's better that you don't repeat the same in the beginning. Sometimes you go like this, sometimes one there, one here. It's better, more random. After you kick it, you have to take one dribble to pull up. One dribble on the catch, one dribble and difference. In a straight line to the basket. But if you're going to go and challenge that shot, you're going to go and challenge that shot. But because sometimes it's close, sometimes it's far, you don't know, sometimes you might get it right, sometimes you don't. Then your decision is, if you are not right on time, pull up shot. But if I'm not right on time, you're going to think that I'm an uncomfortable shot, I'm going to still make it right. I have to read that and take an extra bounce. Go around me and take a shot of 2 feet in the middle of the paint. Okay, that's it. And after that, you go out to 3 more lines. Then we do it the other way around. We start stripping the ball, and then you do the same with the other person. Understood? Yeah? That's it. Go, yeah, you're going to go faster with the switch. Go. Okay, not bad. We need a few more things like this. Okay? Go again. And now you do it first. You do it first. And feet left or right, and you move over the bank. Go. And then you go. Okay. But you can work on anything on this tree. Basically, separate you can do it. But what I want to work on is you do the drive. Do the drive technique of the dribble with one hand. So as an attack, we work on receiving and attacking. Remember the techniques we showed yesterday, attack on the catch? We try to do that with one hand. Then after you have to challenge punch. You cannot take 5 minutes to do it. I will shoot. Okay? So you come back. And when they attack, you're approaching. But again, sometimes you're going to be faster, sometimes slower, sometimes you're closer, sometimes you're not. And I have to do it and break. If you're not on time, I make a shot. If you're on time, now you will arrive. Then another dribble, and a feet up. Okay? This is simple as I try to do it again. Thank you. Super. Thank you. Now switch your roles again. Now why? Because you did not attack your catch. You hold ball and you waiting, and then you attack. And I don't want to do that, but it's okay. So you come back to your spot. Ready? We do it again, and now we do more things. Once you get to know this, you get to do this, then you have to do this reacting to what I say and what I do. Sorry, no what I say. So you do the same, and after you kick it, you go out, after you challenge the shot, sorry, you go out to the 3-point line and shoot. But on your catch, you have to look at me. If I did this, what will you do? If I did this, what will you do? If I did this, what will you do? Oh no, attack. Now we're going to. And if I don't do anything, you also shoot. I give you the ball, and I don't give you any signal, you shoot. This is the same as not a signal. Ready? Go! Perfect. Go. Go again. Perfect. Shoot. Perfect. Perfect. And what we wanted, thank you. What we wanted is, is that you guys, after the first part, you work with certain things. And if you were working on how to dive the catch, how to do the jump stop, the floaters, any skill that you want, one day you work on one, another day you work on the other one. But you are all doing it, reading something. You don't know. Now, the only first part you can read is on the first drive. And now, I tell you from the beginning to drive left or right, so you will have to see where I am. Okay? More signals to make it more complicated. If you have a ball and I pass this ball, you can pass to me. If I look at your eyes and I point at him, you have to pass to him. At any time. Okay? We start the first drive, and I'm doing everything right so you can complicate, okay? This is helping. Ready again? Start now. Okay, go. Okay. According to the definition yesterday, what the only thing he is doing is you better is that you weigh too much when you catch. You catch the ball and look at you. And you have to do that before throwing the catch. You get to do your full work because if there is no signal, you should shoot. You don't have to stop. You get to do the motion, you should do the full work of your movement to get your shot. Okay, let's try to do this only one more thing. Ready? Start? Go. Kick it. Shoot. Shoot. Get a shot. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. No signal, yes, stop. One more time with 15, one more time. Wonderful. Queremos bien, queremos bien. Perfect. This is just an example of a drill I use every game with 3 of our professional players, that we go 2 hours before the game to train for half hour. Normally, our professional team, they have to be in the gym 1 hour and a half before the game in the local game. So there's several guys that have for training. And we go 2 hours before the game on the court. We train for 30 minutes. The drills, as you can imagine, are not demanding physically, but just more to wake them up and be like, but I figure, wait, we have 34 regular season games during the whole year, in both Euroleague and European Bundesliga. 34. 30 minutes times 34 is 17 hours. 17 hours of training. 17 days, 1 hour. Can you imagine how many things can improve? How much can improve on anything? But I don't want them to work with million different things. So we work on decision making. We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. And here I think improvement of players, not only for this is just a reinforcement of working the decision making way we work. It's just one drill to do this for 6-8 minutes on those routines. But I just want to really rebel on finding gaps to train. 17 hours is a lot of time. 17 hours used wisely on doing something with the plan, with the idea, with progression, improvement is a lot. 17 hours of just getting in there to work, take a few shots, and just talk to each other, it's a different effect. Sometimes might be necessary for some people, but it's a different effect. But if you want to do it, 17 hours of training is a lot of time to improve on something. Just want to bring your belt on that. And the drill goes down to the progression I was telling you in stage 2 and 3. They were reacting to 1-0 and they could pass to each other, they could pass to me. But sometimes they drive and kick to a teammate, and sometimes they become their defenders. And sometimes when they drive, I also might be a defender, a center in the paint. So when they do this jump stop shoot, I do this, so they cannot shoot and they have to make an extra pivot to go to the basket. And the uncertainty of me and the teammate being sometimes a player, being sometimes a teammate and sometimes a defender helps a lot on the awareness. You have to be prepared for anything. You have to be focused and prepared. And no one repetition is deciding the same as the other one. No. By being focused, I made them do the things I wanted to practice more without telling them. Because if I tell them, that will help them to be prepared. And I don't want them to be prepared. I want them to apply. So let's say I want to work on the floaters of 2 feet. Then, when I'm there driving, they're doing this. When I am in this position, faking or not faking, I will, most of the times, I will not go. And I will let them shoot the floater. And sometimes I will do this, and they will have to go all the way. But if that day I want them to practice the floaters, if I want them to practice the finish to the basket, 8 out of 10, I will make them do the one I want them to. But it's not that easy. The improvement, my opinion, is a lot deeper, faster, and funnier than if you go 50 times all the way to the basket. Because we didn't want to practice all the way to the basket. Then all the way to the basket. And they know you're going to be all the time the same. Bam, bam, bam. It's a lot more effective practice. one number, 8, 10, but applying it without knowing before the one you're going to use. But I am a coach. I influence the outcome the way I want because I'm practicing, we are practicing something I want. And you have to be all the time thinking when you're doing the drills, go as a coach on guiding the execution towards where you want. Not, you don't want the outcome to be whatever, you want to guide that they don't know. And that uncertainty, it will really makes super effective. That learning, that concentration, that enjoyment of the drills. Make sense? The last part, obviously, 3, 4, 4, trying to get more and more real, 5 to 5. Because don't forget, the ultimate effect, the ultimate intention of all that is they play, they do it in the game. They do it in 5 to 5. They do it in the game. Without intermediate steps, you will leave it to the player brightness of their mind if he can actually do it. With children, no question. With adults, in most of the cases, I'm going to follow that a lot. But it's true that with good adult professional players, sometimes you tell them one thing, and if they have no practice, and they can do it better. I have found many players like that. The top men like mine, masters, they can do it right away. And you have a few of those in your team, they have this knowledge and understanding, you tell them, now next time, I don't want to do this, you do that. They are trying to do it without practicing before. That's not there's people like that. Okay. Any questions about any of this? The structure of the sessions, the structure of the difficulties, how we practice it, how we organize, etc. Okay, I'll give you a 5-minute break and we come back with a few more funny things. Okay? We'll have all the slides later. We'll have Alejandro will give it to you for you this depends on how the structure of the competition is, but under 14, the competition allows you to have 2 teams, and the last part of the year we make merge into one. Okay? We let the last part sometimes the guy who will be part of our 16 team next year. Until they're at 14, we don't select the best ones in one team and the others in another team. We prefer our 2, 3, 14 to be as equal as possible when they're young. We're not interested on some team under 10, 15, everything under 12, under 14, under 12, 13, and 11. To have all the best players together and win everything. We're not interested in that. They then killing other teams, and the competitiveness that you lose is a lot worse than winning that age. Really, we don't care. It's not important. It's a lot more beneficial to have 3, 4 teams equal. That competitiveness will push all of them at a lot higher pace. And then, when they get older, natural selection will help you to select the best ones. Because not all of them will love basketball the same way. And the ones that won't love basketball, they won't make it. They will go to do music, they will do other sports, they will just go out with friends, and that will also be a big part of the selection process, but you just want to offer them the possibility to do that. And then they're 16, then the guys, as we get into more professional and really serious kind of behavior, structure, they're really the ones that they're interested in basketball, that's the one that we will not have a kid that is not really keen on it. If it's a problem for kids to practice 4 times a day, morning practices, all the weekends, all the holidays, then it's a problem because in the professional world, it's not that easy. You're not willing to do that. And professional sports, and then we got, like I said, under 16, they play in the 16 German League, which is divided into regional groups. It's national competition, and the one we lost today, that one, once you get through your group, you go to another group, and then you go to play playoffs against the other parts of North Germany, and the 2 winners from Germany played the two winners of South Germany in the Final Four. And this is a fantastic idea by the German Federation that they had one weekend, one site, the top 4 teams of under 19, under 16, and boys and the girls under 19. The best 4 teams in Germany, they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these Final Fours together. And I think it's fantastic. And we want to give our kids the possibility to play that, but we have 2 or 3 kind of first. And there's 2 years on every age, and 3 years in the junior, the under 19. So our first team in under 16, that's not necessarily made by the best players or by the highest prospects. Sometimes we leave on purpose a kid, high prospect that is not physically developed in the second team. Normally we have the first year with 15, 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. Sometimes we leave a kid that in second year we leave with the first year because we think his development is going to be better because he will have more touches, for instance. Okay? Which he will not do with his age, but he will do with the younger group because maybe he's a skinny 210 kid. And he will not do that with his age. And under the team is the same, and we have these teams that play the national league, but they also play Berlin leagues. So if you're not in the top team, you're also going to be playing under 18, under 20, so under our under 16 boys, girls, they play under 18 and under 20 leagues in Berlin against worse players, but older, which is also going to be beneficial for their development. In the under 19, the same. Best players play in our NBL is called here, in German it's called NBL team. And our roster at that age is made by probably around 20 players. And the top ones sometimes are made practice with the professional first team. The other 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they might practice and play with the second team. The second team, we have an agreement with the club in the outskirts of Berlin that plays German 3rd division. It's a professional league, and our team is in agreement with this club. So we have our young players playing along with 5 or 6 pros that they have in that club. And so we play together, and we offer our 18 and 17-year-olds the opportunity to play against good adult professional players, not top level, but as the next stage for them to keep climbing up. And if they are very good, they might be playing in the first division. Examples. Franz Wagner was the example, like we said before about Ricky Rubio Doncic. He said, 1 case in a million. Franz Wagner, when he was first year under 19, he was already practicing with the first team and playing the Euro Cup final like 15 minutes. He was a little bit gifted. He is a little bit gifted, especially mentally. Many of our guys, they cannot do that, especially the first, all those 3 years of the first year of junior. They are 16, or 16, 18 now. But in the second year, some of them go practice the first year. And in the third year, if you would have had 1 third year and 2 second years that they already played games in the first team, and practice whenever there is gap, there is injuries, and minimum chance we have the opportunity to get out to practice with the process. Start getting that feel for what it is to be in a pro team against good adult players. And we're going up and down. They play 1 game here, 1 game there, or 1 game here, 1 game here. So they have those 2 games per week actually for they would like our prospects to play every week. Alright? Make sense a little? This is it. Okay. Just want to emphasize this. Shooting. That's the part I love most. All the other things I like, but shooting to me is really exciting. It's the essence. I wasn't all like this before. I was a lot more focused on other skills. I was stupid enough not to think how important was the shooting. I was a maniac of the feet, skills, passing, dribbling, and I gave too little importance to shooting. And I started doing more, but at some point I realized that I started doing more to shooting. All forms of shooting. From spot shooting, long distance, pull-up shooting, mid-range distance, free throw shooting, and finishing in the basket. Okay? All of them. No, I'm not putting only about shooting. I would say shooting. But first thing, we gotta, there's different ways of practicing and different things to practice. First, what are we working on? To decide what we do, what are we working on? Are we working, like I said before, we have three main areas that I think we have to work on shooting. Mechanics, challenges, and decision making. And sometimes you can combine all in the same practice session. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's very important to know what you want to do, why, and act accordingly. Why? Because the corrections that you will make will depend on that. And the emphasis you will make will depend on that. And if you're working with a kid on mechanics and you start getting mad or happy when the player makes or misses shots, then you lose the focus. And then you cannot blame the kid on losing the focus. If I work with mechanics, one of the most common things that players do is, I don't want to do it with you, but we'll do later. Okay? The kid starts shooting, and I want to work on a specific stuff of his mechanics, her mechanics. And he starts making faces when missing shot. I'm not sure you have players like that, right? Missing. If you're working on mechanics, focus on your work on your mechanics. And sometimes you make it, sometimes you miss it. But don't overreact when you miss or when you make it. Because that's not the goal. It's a byproduct of doing it right and making a shot. And if you miss long, you miss short, you miss left, you miss right, that gives you an idea why it might be happening as you think about it. And not get frustrated because you miss a shot. Some players react when they miss shot like they've never missed their before shot in their life. And they think, shit, I'm always missing. Yeah, well, you shoot 30%. What do you expect? You get frustrated because you miss, which is what we normally do. What's the big deal? Sometimes players get frustrated at it, right? You have to be frustrated like that, right? Not you. Nah. That's what I mean. Focus on the right thing. If you're focusing on challenges, what I call challenges is to focus on 10 legs on this spot. And then, if you don't make it, when you make it, you can miss it, you don't get it, then you can get mad, miss the shot. Because this is what you're working on. And that helps you improve your mind, your preparation, your focus, your concentration, everything. But you're working on that. And then, if you miss, get frustrated. Yeah, get mad. Yeah. React. Get yourself together and make more shots. This is another thing. There's a moment for both. You're going to be smart enough to choose. If, when you're thinking of making your shots, you start overthinking about the mechanic detail you're working on, you're losing your focus. You're not teaching yourself. That doesn't mean you, while shooting, you kind of think, okay, I missed short because of this thing I did. That's fine. I mean, that should not be the main focus, but I understand it will ask you. Another thing is just focusing on that, your frustration with that. Clear? Focusing on what you want to do. What are you working on? And just focusing on that. Don't let your mind go away on many different things. We're working on decision making. The goal one thing we were doing yesterday. The player wants to make their shot. And when they do this drill, pass, shoot, cut, they want to make a shot. But when we are working on decision making, shooting under decision making situations, just focus on the player to make the right decision. Do you remember yesterday when we were doing that? And a couple of times I made a good shot, you should have done this, because my mind went to that side because I have a habit of doing that, thinking of that. But then if you miss a shot, it doesn't matter. You can be right in repetition every time and be super good at that, then it's all the shot. But still, the goal of this part of the drill is achieved. And then the player might need more time to get his shot together and improve on making a high percentage. Perfect. That's not a but focus on the right thing. Done, then your mind go away. That will help the player to keep focusing on the right thing. And remember that when we teach a player certain things, and when the player sees us behave a certain way, that sometimes gets in their minds stronger than what we intend. And like I said yesterday, the only coach they will be with their entire life is themselves. So you have to give them the tools so they can coach themselves, especially in shooting. And if they learn to not be focused, change their mindset, and be like this, and lose the concentration on the three aspects when they're doing it, because they see you doing it, they will do it. That will not help them to build their own coaching, self-coaching ability. Okay? Clear? Good. I want us, in this part, if it's possible, I would like it to be more debate. So I encourage you to talk and raise your hand as much as possible in this part. What is this? To teach and improve shooting that your priority one is to coach. When you're teaching somebody to coach, often we want the player to shoot a certain way. And I'm going to pass the ball to you. I want you to take one step and a half inside the point line. Just catch the shoot. No rush. Just catch the shoot. Okay? One step inside the point. Okay. Catch the shoot. You ever missed a shot before? Whoever else. Hey, my name is Carlos Frade. Still talk. See that program. Good. Keep on. Few more. Free throw? Awesome. Now, take the free throw. You can do it. Something, right? Or is that uncomfortable feeling? Okay. And see for you, come back. And first thing, I don't want him. Okay, I should like this. But I don't want him to shoot like I should. That's wrong. Yeah. It could be easy. I don't want him to shoot like this. I shoot one way, that I feel comfortable, and I made 80% of my shot. But I don't want you to shoot like I shoot. Number one priority as a coach, talking about shooting is observe. Every player is different. My theory is that there's no one way of shooting the ball right. And every person has his or her own way of shooting that will be as right as possible. And sometimes the players don't know and they do things against their effectiveness. And my job as a coach, as a shooting coach, this part is eliminate all the things that make them miss. Okay? But in order to tell them do this, do that, or advise him to do this, to do that, I have to look first with a plain point of view. Just see what you have in front. Not compare to nothing. See what you have in front. Okay? So that's number one. Our goal is to help the player to find his own way, their own way of being effective shooting. For me as a coach, the number one priority is try to eliminate the left and right misses. Try to eliminate the left and right. And there's many things, many factors that can make a player miss left or right. Okay? And from there, what I look at first is the body balance. And there's not the balance. It's amazing, the balance of the shooter. And the balance comes in a lot of different ways. Talking about the feet, we're talking about the trunk, the body, we're talking about the head, we're talking about the hands. But every person has his own personal balance. In the same way that you put foot position for somebody who is athletic and flexible might be like this, but for somebody who is not, might be this. The same way you shoot. When the way you shoot, and I've never seen it before yesterday and today, when the way you shoot, you turn your body, like many people do, in a certain degree. Okay? But when you go to the free throw line, you do something a little bit different. Your alignment is different. By the way that you hook up, I get the ball back, and I'll tell you what I see. And that also can lead us to conversation. Catch and shoot again, and catch and shoot. Ready? Go. First, catch, and when you're going to shoot, don't shoot, just keep the ball there, almost at the moment of the shot. Okay? Don't shoot. Ready? Stay there. That's no bad. But don't move. Yeah, that's fine. Do it again. Catch. Okay, good. Your stance is not passing. Stay the same. Don't move. It's my catch and shoot. Good. Now catch and don't shoot. Okay, good. Keep the ball there, okay? Keep the ball there. The way up. There. Good. Okay. Okay. He is clearly leading on one side. Clearly leading on one side. Your body balance is not 50-50. You're clearly leading on this side. Plus, the ball is on your left hip, which is not turn. I'm just saying things, okay? And you bring the ball up on your left side. Plus, you shoot. It's okay. It's okay. Again, now shoot it. Plus, because of that, you release the ball from the left side of your head. And just keep the ball there and don't move. Keep the ball there like just before the release, not where the way you shoot. Yeah, a little more. So, like that, a little more. I'm exaggerating so they can see, okay? It's not like that. I want them to see. By you putting the ball on the left side of the head, to shoot straight, you're going to have to shoot to the right. So you automatically have more chances. Every time you miss, it's just the glass is useless for you. because you're shooting like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're just missing chances. You might miss a few shots just because of that. Last, imagine, I always say this to players to compare. Imagine in the Olympics, like the archeries or the shooters, the guns or whatever, right? Imagine if they were, instead of doing it like this, they would do, that would be all like darts, use a lot of the comparison to darts. Imagine the dart player instead of like this, it's like this. That's a lot more difficult. That's why I can't speak. It's a lot more difficult. So the things that you do, you first try to eliminate your miss, your left or right miss. You try to find a way to shoot you more. How? Do it again. Catch and shoot. Go, catch and shoot. Go. What's the closer? Go. I want to do the same and try to do the start. I can shoot with your right foot on this cross, on this red line, on this line. You shoot from there. Okay, and after the shot, you do the normal, then instead of doing from there, do it from there. And after the shot, don't move. Okay, go, catch and shoot. Thank you. A little, yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's no way that I can go to question this that I don't have a lot. And a little bit back, relax, don't need to be exactly like this, okay? And you can move your foot when you catch, okay? The more is that, like, go. Stop, don't move. Yeah. You didn't do the same now. Do it again. Okay, stop. We're not back here, but let me use to explain something. The position of yes. You will find it out explain. Okay, your right foot, you shot with your right foot here. You jumped before you shot, your right foot was here. And let me show you. You shot from here and you landed here. And the position works a little bit like this, and then a little bit like this. So you move not only to that direction, but also twist a little bit your body. If we link that fact with the fact that you shoot from this side and your body weight to this side, you are shooting from this side while you're moving to that direction. That forces your body a lot to do what you do, which is try to stay in the, no, I don't care where you land, and just take the foot, hold the foot, go. Perfect. Your iron, the 4-3 is perfect. Straight to the basket, fantastic. But from go to the position before the shot. Imagine you have the ball, or where you have the ball, and before the release, you do this, and you shoot from there. Look where his elbow is pointing. His elbow is pointing there. So in your shot, from here, from the set point to the release, your arm, just this part of the body, that's this. Because you end up like this. So you go from here to here, and that only happens while you are in the action of shooting. So you're moving. You're moving you're moving the arm like this when you shoot. But that's the natural way your body is correcting all the off-balance alignment that you have towards your left with this movement of the right arm. Understand? Yeah, exactly. Keep going on what is. Everybody Like I said, try to eliminate the left right. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm just seeing it and just trying to find it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. His body moving left, and then he compensates without realizing to the right to shoot the ball straight with the arm. Imagine the Olympics, or imagine in the darts, like the target is there for the darts, and the players do this. Imagine instead of doing this, that the guy, he was doing this, aiming to the friend that is in the steps, was him. And from the moment that he starts the motion of that arm, he does this. Where does he might go? Like, everybody is there behind him. This could go anywhere. But for practice, because you practice like that in one life, you found a way to get it more or less straight. But I can guess, I can guess that you are the most consistent shooter in Canada. And one of the reasons why you're not consistent, I don't know you enough in your head, but I would say that you have trouble paying attention to little details and consistently doing them. Just because today's I am here with you, okay? But apart from that, which is super important, is that to be consistent, you have to be balanced. And it's very difficult to be consistent if you have your body going this way and your arm going that way. Because you're correcting one mistake, the mistake of this, you're correcting it with this. But then you make two mistakes. And if we correct this, we might not make any mistake. So this first part goes in front, and you will not need this. And as soon as you stay like this, you will not need this. You understand? Makes sense a little? Okay. And now, how do we do it? Because as we said, his off balance has not only one source. One is the jump, and one is the body weight, the ball of that side. So if I go here, I check things, I do things, and I find the right button. Because sometimes it takes me 2 minutes, and sometimes it takes me 2 days to find the right way of doing it. Okay? So what I will start doing with you is from here, I will start doing the typical shooting form drill and try to okay? But instead of putting it in the basket, that is it. We're going to do it with this line. We use any line. We use this line. Okay. And I want you to do it like this. Get the ball and try to get the ball, your elbow over that line, and try to make the ball bounce and stay on the line. Don't be like this if this is going to help you. Do it with this red line. You have to try to make the ball bounce and stay on the line after that. See if the ball stays there after 2 or 3 moves. Thank you. No, this is not there. Start every move, start there. Wait, you start to do that from here. See? Because he has the habit to shoot to the right. Now he's trying to compensate. Trying to compensate. Stand. Okay. Starting to find it. You see, when he gets ready for the shot, because he has this tendency on the elbow, he is getting the ball here, and unfortunately, he's making it. Before the shot, you're moving it a little, because your muscle memory is this. And then, somehow find, or your mind understand that if you stay straight, it's more likely to be straight. Now do the same with your hand on the side, but you don't have to go with the left, but have it there as close as you can have to go without touching. So, he does not realize, but he's starting to lean to the left. It's like this, and he's not in the Okay, it's not in the middle, like this, and you do this. A little to the left. Okay, forget about the stuff. Just try to make the ball bounce. Don't worry about anything about the elbow, the hand. Just try to make the ball bounce on the line. Stay in the line of the bounce. Now hold it there, push. Hold it there, push. Push. Take that hand away. Right? Get the ball don't shoot it. No, the ball stays in the hand, right? What happened before? Well, what happened before is that you did not have activated the fingers. And I touch a little, and the ball went like this. Now I touch it, the ball is going to move. That's because you're starting using the fingers. And one mistake I have seen in many, not mistake, one peculiar thing that I've seen in many players in the early level is that sometimes players don't use all 5 fingers at the same time for passing, for dribbling, for shooting. And many players, they have a hand, I'm trying to face, I just use this because many players have their fingers too close to each other, and the ball and the hand does not cover enough surface of the ball. So the stability of the ball of the hand is not that big, not that bad, that good. And I have worked specifically with some players, instead of being like this, just do this. And when the player realizes that the difference between having the fingers close and having, you don't have to be like this, so you don't have some sensitivity. But just a little bit more spread and a little bit more tense, you get the right grip. I touch you, so you found the right, but now the ball is not appropriate. It's like that. I touch you, then you do this. You cannot have too much tension here, because you don't have feel it. So you have to find your right tension of the grip, so the ball does not come there on your hands, but you still get a nice smooth shot. Yeah. Ready? Sometimes they hit it, sometimes they don't. All based on the same principle we're seeing on practicing before. Even if the shooting technique, a little unpredictability is good. You have to choose the right amount, okay? But to help you find the right tension on the grip is good. Sometimes hit and sometimes they don't hit you, so you have to find the way. If you always hit you always like this. I don't go too much, so that's why I do it. Now, the same grip, but a little behind the line, and you have to make the ball bounce on the line and make the ball bounce back to your shoulder. Like this. Like that. Like that. Closer. Okay. Now, very common thing. Very common thing. If very much means to speed, so the speed of the gesture was too much, lost control of that shot. The ball came out of this speed. If the ball came out of this speed, that's why one there went out because you did this too rushed. Easy. Alright. Okay, one for shooting big. Okay. So try to find a way to bounce on the line or back. Probably the ball up there, the last point is that it's natural tendency like going inside and going. Okay. That's one factor that I will work on to see. I like what I see. I think there's hope. I use this drill to know what is the natural position. Why this is better than this, or this is better than this, or this is basket, this is like 20 example is better than 30 and 40, 50. How much? Again, individualized for every person is different. You gotta find the one that works for him. That depends on many things. Okay? But I met many players without a line. From the free throw line, if you would be in that position on the free throw line, you would be aiming at the short corner, which is the most common. Okay? Some players do more, some players do less. It's fine. How do we know which one is the one that fits in well at this point? Doing the drill like instead. Again, when it's difficult drill, let's give the ball and to shoot. And the position where you land is the position that your body tells you I'm confident. Not the position where you jump. The position where you land. Because we often think of how we can set the feet to shoot, right? But the players will not think with the position to land. So that will not be forced, that will not be biased towards anything. So his landing spot is the one his body tells him, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm balanced, I'm happy at this point. So this is the position I want you to shoot from. To jump, to land. Before the shot, this is the feet. I want how you feet aligned like this. Yeah, like this. Like the position that you are in. Okay, don't move. Where's the ball? Here. Thank you. And now, on the same drill, try to move with your right toe to this line. Move a little bit, keep the line. Keep the line. And move that foot too. So you're in the same stand that moving. So from here, do the drill we did before. This one, with one hand, make the ball bounce to this line. From there. Don't rush. Go.
Yeah.
What was more about shot to take the whole morning? Shoot. All right. All right. You stop here. You do it from there. Stop more. Stop more. Wait a second. Now make the ball bounce back feet. Okay? Yeah. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's impossible to make it perfect. What? What? There is one. It's huge. Good. Now, the hand on the side, same. Now touch ball, stop, and the side touch it is long. Bang. Why do you think the ball bounces and goes downwards? Why do you think that happens? Talking about then how you put it. Because the ball bounces and goes downwards. If the ball was balanced, it would come back the same direction, right? After the bounce goes another direction. Why do that happen? And this is what I want you guys to think as coaches, when you see guys shooting and making the ball bounce like this. Okay, but it happens is because how the ball comes out of the hand. How the ball is released. Ready? Ready? And if the ball comes out of this side of the hand, really purpose the ball comes out of like this hand, not in the middle, but more this hand. Good. Again. Are you doing better than before? If the ball comes out like this, my hand, the ball comes out like this, the ball that in. That's what I meant. Okay, the ball bounces, goes down. might go this direction, but the ball wants to go that way. And this is a sign that the ball does not come out of the hand, balance in the middle of the hand. Okay? And that can affect the shot. Can affect the shot. So now I want you to try, make sure the ball, when you release it, just focus on one thing. When the ball, you release the ball does not come out this side. Okay? Breathing. Get right. Great. Okay. Oh, good. Now, third one. Okay. Move forward. First drill, like this. Same drill with the inside. Third drill, first station drill. You gotta do here. What do we do from here? Try and make switches. Get the feet aligned, same way you were there. Or like this. Not important to do more than just like that. And I will put the basketball ready to shoot, and when the ball gets, you bring the ball up, and the ball gets past the head, past the eyes, and you feel that you don't need the left hand to grip it to steer your knee. I don't know if you hold it like this if you can, but just over that. You feel the ball is balanced and you don't need this hand, release it on the way up, and do the same drill. The finish is the same drill we just did with the hand. But from here, go, release it, finish with one hand. Understood? Okay. Too quick. Oh. Okay, from this side, you can see what is doing, like compared to how we started. The same or different? I'll do it in a few more shots. So second, what do you guys think? Little different, but still, see how you do the station. You do the station. Okay. Another thing I can try with is now force a little bit the elbow. Okay? So get the ball ready to shoot and go a couple steps back from there. If you feel a line like that, a good work as well. And now, when you bring the ball up, I want you to just bring the ball up to shoot, ready? Okay, like that. And I want you to make sure when you do it, your elbow goes not to the middle, go a little bit more to that side. A little bit. So practice this. Go in front of me. Always practice like this, and see my elbow, the line of my elbow. I want to be focused on this. Then you go 1, 2, 3. Okay? So the first time you go super low, is focusing on the feet. You're going to feel over. So you probably do this. So you're going from here to here. And you bring the way out here. More. Stop. Open the elbow a little more. Keep them. Up. Down. Do it again. Out. Go like that. Again. Feel a little bit straight, right? Breathe. And exactly a little. Okay. Good. Come back up. When you're doing this, bring the ball up like this. And you do this. But I don't want you to do this circle here. All we want to do is bring it up already outside. Make sense? And try 2 times, and then the third one should bring it a little more out like pom-pom. Okay, super. And now one more shooting. Go. Pom, pom, pom. Okay? Good beginning. 1, 2, 1, 2, pop. Wait a minute. Good start. Go. Good. Good. Okay. More. Oh, perfect. I don't know you. Right. I don't know you, but the reason why I think there is hope is because in the little I know you, I think you're the type of person that is going to make it work. Not anything. Anything. Because the way you look, the way your eyes shine when I speak with you, when you listen, and I think you have a desire to improve. You have to maintain that no matter what. You play more, you play less. Coaches speak, coaches help you have this. You have to be like this. Okay? Basic time, you get basic time. Okay? Not that easy things. Important things, good things, need a lot of time to happen. Patient, and you work at the way you approach things, just by the fact that he is willing to show his mistakes in front of other coaches, that tells you a lot about him. Yeah, tells you a lot about his work. Just an example of mechanics and couple of little drills, and with 5 minutes more kind of thing, I will do some other things based on how he jumps, how he spins, how we make it go left, right, how we make it go right, left, how we make it hop, how we make it shoot different ways, to check how much that affects. But I think in the state the upper body affects a lot more than the lower body. So his left, right, missing. To practice mechanics of shooting, even if it's just practicing mechanics, variation, how, distance, shooting formula, not only from here, no, feel from here, from here, from here, from here. Depending on the day, sometimes after every shot, move 1 step. Then other days, take 5 shots and change, 5 shots and change. After, do it, especially more with guards, depends on the player, after dribbling right, dribbling left, and do the drills also after dribbling. Changing distances and changing the factors parameters to do that. After passes, after rebounds. In this case, as a big man, I will work a lot of shooting form from above the head, from this distance, not from far, from this distance. Because you will need to get a first rebound and do this. And that patch will help us also to practice the final part of a shot. That's a different idea from my mind. Go on with
The issue that's straight Brad is the fact that you get the ball on the left side and trying to bring it back to the right side and shoot it creates like a margin of error. Big. So what you think about when you teach young kids when they catch the ball in the position, that the ball, as you said, it doesn't matter if it's on the left side or the right side, but the emphasis is I want the guy to be able to shoot and primary reflex. Catch the ball and you go back to the right side.
Yeah, I would try to say that. Unless somebody is really, but I would try to emphasize that person, and I would try to make it, if somebody does this, make them see how much more difficult it is. Yes. But I would definitely try to go from the middle or from the halfway to the side of the middle on your shooting side.
The issue is when you look at Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, they all have the ball on the left side, right there, shoot it. So that's why
yeah, but you have to show them clips of other people doing that. Okay, so I agree with you 100%, and this is something we have to fight as coaches to make the kids understand that what Stephen Curry is trying to do might not work for them. Not only that, but with the teammate next to them do might not work for them, and what works for them might not work for others, because everybody is a different person. It's good to pick up things from others to try. I encourage you and the players to try and to change. But no, nothing because it works for one person is going to work for another person. I'll give you another example. How many times? I don't know how much more. I have the fortune, I have had the fortune to coach in Berlin, to me, the best shooter in Europe, that is not playing now, is senior, he's been injured for the last year and a half. Next, Marcus Eriksson, the Swedish player that was drafted by the Blackhawks, and because he was never physically super gifted, he never made it to the NBA, and he had some injuries in the knees and stuff, so he was super good, but for Europe and not at the physicality level of the NBA. And I had the fortune to share 2 years with him in Berkeley. of basketball, then we never practice under similar conditions. Never going to be the same game, but we can simulate similar conditions to that. Another drill I do with injured players, especially, do those drills because they're from there and do from here. Another drill I do a lot is alternate type of shot. I tell them, for instance, 5 spots, imagine a guy that is injured at 10%. We shoot from this distance. And injuries, knee injuries, stuff like that, right? Then 4 minutes in a row, each spot. The 4 shots that be 1 dribbling to the right, ball. 1 dribbling to the left, ball. 1 switch and 1 shot. Doesn't have to be a switch. You gotta make over 4 in a row in any order you want. Just give you another idea for more switches. When you make over 4 in a row, go to the next spot. And before you go to the next spot, you gotta make free. Remember yesterday they do 1 drill to validate the win. I tell them to go shoot a free throw. In 90% of the drills, challenges, shooting, after they do it, 1 free throw. 90%. Sometimes I don't because I don't want to do always the same. But freezing to validate the challenge and that takes the pressure. If you have a chance to make something hard and put the guy 15 minutes to do it, and then at the end he has to make a free throw, he needs a free throw, and he has to start again, that really you shoot the free throw with some concentration and determination. And if you practice like that all the time, that helps the player to eliminate the fear of missing. Not eliminate, but make the determination and the desire to make it bigger than the fear of missing, which is all you need. Understand? The 2 sides of the coin. But you gotta coach that. You gotta teach that. Some players, some persons are born with that special situation when the pressure they perform better. Some people is like that. And then important exam, important day at work. Some people is like that. Some people is the opposite. But we can teach, and we can coach a certain way to help them to find that. And it might never be like Michael Jordan. Yeah, I know. But we just don't want them to be like Michael Jordan or Kirk. We want them to be the best version of themselves. That's good enough. And to help them find that version, you gotta practice mental aspects of the game, especially talking about shooting. So 90% of the challenges validate free throw. And if you are with others, like we did yesterday, help them to mess around and make anything in their power to make it. Kind of believe what the guys do with the stuff. They start throwing the ball up there, going behind, throwing like all kinds of things. You cannot touch the shooter, you cannot beat the game. That's not the rules I did. But other than that, try to construct. Challenges to mechanics. I think basically that was it. I'm trying to think about other drills to do. One. With the professional players, we take a better level. The challenges, I do not really use them as parts of the offenses we have in the team. So if we have an offense that the guy comes out of the screen, get the ball, there's a pick and roll for them to play, shoot out of pick and roll, then the challenge can go 5 in a row doing this. Then 5 in a row, 3 transition to the wing. Then 5 in a row doing another thing. So I try to apply more to specific situations that they will have on their team. Be more specific with that. But still, after time, free. And when the player becomes good, use your imagination. With Marcus, I can't imagine the type of person I'm talking about. So for him to make 5 threes in a row and shoot a free throw is a joke. It doesn't require for him to be concentrated, to be focused. So within the challenge I can tell him to make 10 in a row. And then the free throw, that's why I'm telling you to use your imagination. For him, the challenge to go and make a free throw, it's not even that, just go there and do it. It makes it not focus. And my goal as a coach is I gotta force this head of every player. And I gotta find a way he is working on his head. And if just making a free throw, I don't get it, I have to make something up. And what did I do with him? Give him a clear challenge. I tell him, go to the free throw line, and then you have to make the free throw, switch. If you don't switch, it doesn't count. And we have to do it. And that forced him to really do it. And I've become a person that I have seen him switching 23 shots in a row. So after a while, I said, shit, switching doesn't make it concentrate anymore. Another challenge. Then you gotta make a free throw with your eyes closed. And it is not a joke. I'm talking about reality. This happened. I do it, and I have videos that prove that. Okay? So, get a better challenge, finish it, and sometimes he missed it, thank God. But most of them made it. And when he made it, I said, shit, we won free throws right now, then you have to make one switch, one with the eyes closed. And when he made it, I said, well, you have to make three. When he hit the back of the ring, one switch and one with the eyes closed. And in that order. To push his limits of concentration, accuracy, or anything. Every person is different. And when I come with him, it's totally unthinkable for not for younger kids, for any other player of our team. It's unthinkable. There's only one player that is close to him, but you saw it in the video a couple of times. And I'm going to finish the last slide. Okay, I just want to show a couple little ideas. Okay, we'll give you these slides, and before you want to finishing with it. In general, coach development, trainer, not the same. Understand that we want to teach them how to play. Individual training is about teaching them how to play, understanding what is happening, not just executing things. There might be a way of doing it, there might be a right reason of doing things a certain way, and they have to understand. The players get a lot of benefit from the training if they know what we're doing and what we're doing. That doesn't mean some drills we don't tell them the goal before, we tell them after. Because sometimes I don't want to condition how they do it, knowing what they're going to happen. But they have to know that everything we do is to teach them how to play, to understand the game, and to be able to make good decisions on the court. Second, keep things simple. If any question, or should I do this, should I do that, choose a simple one. Choose the slow progression option. The one that is going to give you more foundation. Don't try to run too much on the learning process. Don't try to speed that up. That hardly never works. That's good. My advice is be safe, patient, give time to think, to interiorize, and to settle. That only happens if we keep things simple. Passing is what makes us a team in offense. Everything we do in individual skills has to have a pass option involved. Skills without passing will lead us to an individual game, and there's no one team in the world that is good playing individually. And if we're in sport, playing sport, has to be a team. And what makes us a team is in offense, is passing, moving off the ball. And the four people that don't have the ball are more important than the person with the ball. A lot more important. Okay? Focusing on passing on any skill. And one little methodology thing I would say, if they don't get it right, they will not get it right by telling us to do it right or telling them what they're doing wrong. No. They will get it right by us designing and creating an environment where they have to apply what we want them to learn. And if today in practice we didn't get it and they didn't pick up the idea and they didn't execute it didn't read this well, it's not their fault. It's your fault as a coach. And think of how can I do tomorrow? I will think different of this thing with a little modification. So they actually interiorize this idea, team or individual. How can I change the fact that I have this drill so they really execute it and they really learn how to do it? Find other way of teaching the same. That involves preparation, that involves the education of you, home, thinking of the players, thinking of the team, and writing out, thinking of working, and then writing it, and still write down kind of thing how you can type it, still, Find other ways. Think about it. Think about it. If it's not working, change the way. If it's not working one day, it's not working tomorrow, you're doing it the same way. Find other ways. Just want to finish with this. Like I said, we will give you the slides. I hope that having the slides will help you remember some of the things we were talking. I really enjoyed the time here with you. I hope you guys will pick up a lot of things, can help you get better, can help your teams get better, and hopefully see you soon at some point at the